Pink Panther, all the countries of the globe have been hit by this thief, this legendary thief called the Tornado, who for the last 10 years has been in retirement.
It's the tornado.
The tornado! And so an international team of dream detectives is put together to solve the case, and I sort of accidentally get put on the case.
With the different nationalities of the different detectives, we started early on thinking it could be a potentially world-class kind of cast. So I think once we started sensing, hey, we could really get the global thing going here, we started looking for that.
This dream team turns out to be a complete nightmare.
Now let me bring you up to speed. We know nothing. You are now up to speed.
Clouseau is the sweetheart of the French people, since he, in the previous movie, found and rescued the Pink Panther diamond.
This is the real Pink Panther.
So he's put on the team. Of course, Dreyfus doesn't like that. Dreyfus would like to have all the accolades.
It is my job to protect the Pink Panther. You have merely been reassigned to the dream team.
That is quite a honor, but I cannot accept.
What?
I have met people like Clouseau in England, and we call them pronoid, which is the opposite of paranoid, because they think that everyone likes them and is on their side when there is no evidence for this whatsoever. And I think Clouseau is like that.
You're under arrest!
Clouseau is very arrogant, so he always thinks he's smarter than everybody else, which of course puts off these detectives because they're absolutely great.
There are 4 of us, and you only have 4 bullets left. That doesn't add up.
The good thing is that Steve brings this Clouseau sense. It's the sense that nobody else has, that when everybody else, all the other masterminds think they've figured it out, there's always one smarter, and that's always Clouseau.
Steve Martin is somebody who knows completely the work of being an actor.
You need to calm down.
Trying to be in the same, let's say, rhythm of scenes. Is a real human being and a real artist.
You are like a brother to me.
Oh.
A hot, sexy brother in a dress.
It's like a childlike innocence about what's funny, and that's what he kind of goes into. It's almost like he's not thinking about it, it's just some sort of genius thing, and he's getting such a kick out of it, and it makes you just get such a kick out of it to watch. And I definitely have a sort of Nicole type crush on him in real life.
It's always nice to have a very sexy woman clumping around the building in high heels.
Mrs. Berenger, played beautifully by Lily Tomlin, is the political correctness person who's been hired by the police station to make sure everything goes politically correct.
When I read it, first of all, I thought the scenes were really funny. And then to work with Steve, because we did All of Me together, and that was great fun. And I just thought it would be a nice way to work with Steve again.
You must never refer to blondes that way.
But they are so dumb.
I was unaware that Steve and Lily hadn't actually been together on screen in 20 years. And to simply watch the two of them riff on each other was so much fun. A simple 10-second scene could go on for 3 or 4 minutes and just get funnier and funnier and funnier.
You did it again.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Oh my God, look. Oh my God.
Having Jean Reno in the film is incredibly important. For me, it's like Abbott and Costello. You got the straight man and you got the jokester, and Jean can say nothing in a scene, but with a look, give you a laugh.
I am sorry you can't satisfy your wife.
Jean Reno and I remain friends after the first movie. He brings humor to the set. He's always joking around and kidding around, and so it's very enjoyable.
Steve Martin, after the first one, he said, we may have Ponton coming to Jacques Clouseau's place because he got kicked out by his wife.
What are these?
Like the play The Odd Couple. Suddenly you have somebody coming to your house with the 2 kids, with the dog, and completely changing your life. And it is very nice.
Emily Mortimer is so bewitching and charming, and she brings so much groundedness to Clouseau. If Emily weren't in the movie, Clouseau would seem untethered emotionally, and she hopefully is the access for the audience.
It is worryingly easy to access my inner Nicole for the second time. I took to this character very easily right from the get-go. Immediately, I knew the physicality of the character. There is a side to me that is very Nicole-esque, which is something I try to keep under wraps as much as I can. I have a very hapless side to my personality, and my friends will make me run for a bus just to give themselves a cheap laugh, because I'm not very good at sort of simple things like running and walking in a straight line.
If Clouseau solves this case, I'm perfectly willing to run around like a bare-bummed idiot wearing nothing but a tutu.
I play Inspector Randall Pepperidge of New Scotland Yard. And my character particularly finds himself really sort of disliking Clouseau.
You had plenty of fingerprint evidence.
I think this time the idea of the dream team where you can have Clouseau spar with another equally minded detective. The battle of wits, I think, is one of the really smart scenes in the movie.
You have tissues in your shoes to make you look taller.
You were 14 before you finally learned to enjoy avocado.
But so comedy hasn't been a big part of my work. But whenever they've come up, I've always had a wonderful time doing it. Steve is such a collaborative actor, and you just know if he thinks it's funny, then the chances are it's going to be funny.
Sono Vincenzo Rogaras Guardialupi Branca Leoni.
And your name?
I think somebody like Andy Garcia, who's full of ideas, who always brings on something, you know, a lot of the ideas that surrounded his character was his own.
A woman to have the babies with.
Have the babies?
Yes, lots and lots of the babies.
It's amazing because when he walks on the set, he's got such a sense of power and control that he sort of exudes exactly what you need the character to exude.
El Sino di Crimo.
That is not Italian, and I do speak English.
I love doing comedy. I've never given too much of an opportunity to do it, but it's something like my early training and my early experiences on stage and the theater in Los Angeles were in comedic improvisational groups and troupes. So it's something that I'm very stimulated by and I enjoy very much.
Is this okay? Yeah, I like this.
I was able to discover this tornado hacked the security system.
My character is Kenji Matsudo. He's a Japanese detective who's a specialist in computer programming and computer security system.
And, you know, the key for Yuki is culturally, he doesn't understand what Clouseau is doing. He knows that what Clouseau is doing is odd, but he keeps thinking that it's a cultural difference as opposed to Clouseau's just odd.
You are crazy.
I love comedies. Comedy is something you make people laugh and smile, and that's one of the reasons why I started doing acting, to make people laugh. And if I could do that's wonderful, I think.
Well, I suppose you will be wanting sushi, my little yellow friend.
You know, the last piece in the cast was this exotic writer who suddenly comes out of nowhere. She's this kind of femme fatale. We did a worldwide search for that woman, and then Aishwarya came on, and it was without a doubt the best choice. She was like that last piece in the puzzle that we needed to balance the whole cast.
Oh, Aishwarya Rai, who's a famous and very beautiful and very talented Bollywood star, and she can't walk down the street in India, and that's going to be the case after this movie's over.
You are very attractive.
I will see you in my office in 5.
Coming from India, people are familiar with the Pink Panther movies and with the Clouseau character, and I knew this is just going to be one fun experience. This had a terrific ensemble cast coming together to make this film what it is, which I think is a very clever idea, to make it this international in the sense. I think it kind of works with the fact that today's audience is really multinational. The world is only getting smaller, so I think it makes a lot of sense. It was a clever idea.
Bravo.
I'm the dialect coach, and my job is to help the actors learn the various dialects that they need for the film, and with this one we have a lot. For instance, Andy Garcia is Cuban-American, so going to Italian more than anything, I would say we focus on the rhythm and making sure that that rhythm stays very Italian.
So, you are a lover.
Always accents are challenging. It's difficult because you want to be free of the consciousness of having to do the accent. It should just come out of you naturally, like in your own voice.
Squargialupi Brancaleone.
The Clouseau French, which is certainly heightened and kind of its own animal and unique, I must say, to Steve Martin, who brings so much to it.
She mustn't escape. I'll stop her.
And can take a sound and twist it around and make it hysterically funny all by itself and get a joke out of that.
Tornado, I'm coming to get you. There's your one.
It was fun to get back into the accent. I do work with a coach. When I first started the movie, I learned very fundamental things, and then we sort of refine it on the weeks that we're shooting certain scenes, and even up to the last minute, we're always working on the accent.
I said hamburger. No, you said hamburger.
The English have always found the French accent funny. I don't know why. We find it so funny.
No.
No.
Yeah, no.
We just laugh at the French accent. It amuses us for no logical reason.
Then I will select the wine. It is one of my specialities.
I think I have my own sound to the accent, although the coach, Jessica Drake, is really good.
I'll see you in 5. I don't think I'm mean. I mean, every once in a while I like to kidney punch an actor just to make sure they get the sound. But anyway.
I looked over and there was Steve Martin, Alfred Molina, Andy Garcia, Jean Reno, Emily Mortimer, Joe Cleese. It was just amazing pool of talent.
I'd like to thank my colleagues for their assistance.
We're all literally a team, not just the dream team on celluloid, but literally it's a team working together, a team of actors come together. And that's what's wonderful, that even though each one has their own body of work and their own years of experience, we come together as really a team of actors.
100% match.
One thing I really pleased about working in this film was how everyone in the cast really trust me and gave me respect as an actor. They said, like, oh, it's Yuki, so it's okay.
We spend a lot of time together. There's a very collaborative atmosphere, you know, and I think it's because it's part of that dynamic of we're all like in this gang. You know, it kind of seems to, kind of like has an effect on the way you do things.
I think comedically, everything functions and hovers around the necessity to support Steven's journey. You know, that's our function in the film. And to provide situations that he can play off of, or obstacles that he would have to overcome. So I'm really here in service of that.
Oh, I see. You and she, you like the, you know...
Oh, no.
I love playing the role, so I'm happy to do sequels to this movie. And, you know, each time you learn more about what works and what doesn't. It's a very friendly shoot. We've always had friendly, nice people on the set, and so it's very enjoyable.
The other actors I'm working with are a very inflated, unpleasant lot. Alfred Molina, whose name in Italian means Mrs. Windmill, is probably the worst of the lot. I don't much care for the Japanese guy. He's too tall for a start. And but Steve is lovely, so he just sort of compensates for the sheer awfulness of the others.
Ready? Background and action.
It's a much more physical, gag-oriented movie than the last one.
The timing is critical to get a laugh. Got to be right on the button. It's much tougher comedy to coordinate.
The more mayhem he creates, the funnier it is.
This can be more extreme because Clouseau is truly an exaggerated character.
Now that was luck.
When we made the last one, a lot of the humor had to do with play on words and clever stuff that Steve Martin had written for the character.
Tornado, I'm coming to get you. There's your one.
In the same way that James Bond is very different for Sean Connery and Roger Moore and Daniel Craig, the idea here was to customize the role of Clouseau for Steve's strengths.
So you get this a little tighter.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Some of the family films I've done, they're kind of real people, but this role gives me a chance to do broad physical comedy.
So what we're trying to do is have a blowout physical comedy that's also really smart. And that oftentimes is diametrically opposed in a lot of movies.
What are you doing?
With an actor like Steve and this phenomenal cast, we're actually able to combine the two.
I like physical comedy. I enjoy it because I suppose the only thing that makes me at all anxious these days is remembering lines. Whereas with physical comedy, I never think I'm going to get that wrong somehow. It's just kind of very natural and easy, and that's why I look forward to it.
We find that the physical comedy works so much better when you have this bull in the china shop mentality.
There were more Clouseau type things, like when he gets in the restaurant and he hits the bottles and they all come out and he's juggling them. That's Steve.
I've just had this inclination toward physical comedy, and I really do enjoy it, especially after it's over, because it's hard work while you're doing it, and it can be quite uncomfortable.
But if you can use the principal, the actor, Steve, it's golden, because you can get in there close and you catch something with his eyes.
Everybody, here we go.
And in the movie, there's a scene with a fire hose. He was 60 feet above the ground, and he's riding that to the ground. But the stuntman, of course, is a very valuable asset because you cannot afford to lose. In this case, Steve Martin on anything. There were a couple of falls in this movie that were hellacious. So Steve's double, plural, there were two, took those.
I do what I call 80% of my stunts, which is just up until the very serious moment someone will step in.
On a bell, quiet.
We had a sequence where they throw the stuntman out of the restaurant.
Action!
And Steve added to it, stuntman, then Steve, the impact. Steve does that kind of stuff in his sleep. And we had a sequence where he falls through a chimney. Probably one of the hardest things to do. It rang the bell of the stunt guy.
Hey, here we go. Ready, everyone? And action. Well done. Thank you, Tim. The underside of the...
Well, this is Clouseau walking out on the post balcony. This is an exact duplicate of the actual balcony. So today we're shooting Steve connecting the stuff that we already done with the stuntman falling over.
It's a big safety factor for putting Steve up on a 60-foot platform. If he goes over the side, of course we have pads down there, but you don't want him doing a 60-foot high fall.
I'm the stunt double for a character named Sonia, played by Aishwarya Rai.
Who?
Just did one the other day where I go running across and I get smacked.
Good work, Bonto.
I guess there's just a bunch of different ways to fall, and it takes kind of a lot of coordination or body awareness. Well, the fall I had to do was snapping my head back and falling on my back, but I just get a mat out and practice all the time.
And hit. She hit. Hit. You like karate?
We love it! My name is Antoine, and my name is Louis, and basically all we do is karate.
I tell you, that was difficult because, A, you don't want them to hit Steve with the weapons that they have. When they first started out, they were not too good at all. But I brought in a martial art TA from New York, and he worked with them. and I had him work with them all the time, and I came up with a couple of gags that worked good for the staff. I had to bring a couple small doubles, but the kids did most of the stuff, and they were game to do everything. And they kicked his butt. And hanging him upside down, to their credit and their mother's credit, they trusted me.
Die, little piglets!
When I went into this movie, I really wanted to make it bigger and better than the one before. I thought that was a great movie, but there's no reason for an audience to go back to the theaters unless there's something more. And I think this time we had a really funny script. There was a lot of physical, good comedy.
It turned out even better than I could have hoped for.
There's a lot of different things that are difficult, and I enjoy it when it's over and it was safe. That's my job.
Yes, you will be.
Password was hamburger?
No.
Hamburger. I said hamburger.
No, you said hamburger.
I said hamburger.
No, you said hamburger.
Hamburger? Hamburger. I said hamburger.
Rome. Do you know who lives in Rome? Alonso Avellaneda.
The black mark they got. Stop, this isn't. Oh.
You are a lover, Clouseau. And Miss Nicole, she's, I forgot what she is. What is she, Miss Nicole? Yes, lots and lots of babies. All day long. Yes, all day long babies.
Nicole.
I forgot my line completely. I'm so sorry.
Was it the shock of seeing me in her? You are 14 before you finally decided to before you learned to enjoy avocado.
Tell me, did you eat?
You are 14 before you learn to enjoy avocado.
Listen. Look, there's the wound there. Tenure, but the
You can recite the entire section of every section in all and